Hi and welcome to the Tristan channel, and today I'll be addressing an important topic, about society's attitude toward men wearing nail polish. Now today it's frowned on by some, whilst others like it, and others are just not bothered. Pardon me. Since I started wearing it again, it's got me some positive attention from ladies. One could say it says a lot about you as a person. For example, if you've done your nails really well, it kind of illustrates something similar to like how people would judge you on how your shoes were polished. You know, it shows focus and attentiveness, which makes them think, well, if they're that attentive on their nails, I wonder how attentive they would be if the focus was me. The amount of advice I've been giving on products and stuff like that, product companies should sponsor me and stuff. The irony is that men, not just women, have been wearing nail polish and makeup, even makeup, as far back as beyond ancient Egypt. The origin of the manicure cannot be attributed to one culture. Archaeologists discovered Egyptian mummies dated to 5000 BC with gilded nails and henna-tinted fingertips. Around the same period, Indian women were painting their nails with henna, while ancient Babylonian men used kohl, K-O-H-L, to colour their nails. In fact, men did this before women. In Babylon, men painted their nails before war, believing that, just like a striped serpent or creature, the nails would instill fear into the enemy. So in many ways, it started as a part of their war paint. That's what makeup originally was anyway. Just as face paint, one could say face paint was the first makeup. The first time it became a beauty thing or fashion item was in China around 3000 BC, and in 600 BC people would wear certain nail polish colours to display their status in society. The Chinese would paint their nails in the colours of the ruling dynasty. During the Zhou dynasty, gold and silver nails represented the highest social ranking. People who are of the higher class painted their nails black and red, symbolising strength and boldness. Ordinary folks were forbidden to wear the colours which were worn by the representatives of the higher social ranks, and were allowed to wear only pale coloured nails to affirm their inferiority. But going back to Egypt, it is a common notion that Cleopatra and Nefertiti were the trendsetters in their time, and it is believed that it was Queen Nefertiti who first dyed her nails red as a symbol of her royal status. The stronger the red shade was, the more power the person possessed. Queen Nefertiti usually wore ruby red nails dyed with henna, but some sources suggest that she also used blood as a colouring agent. Cleopatra also wore red nails during her rule of Egypt, and nobody else was allowed to dye their nails red. Even today, red nails represent elegance and sophistication. However, again, men have been wearing nail polish since 3200 BC, thereabouts. Following an excavation of royal tombs at Ur of the Chaldees in southern Babylonia, it was reportedly discovered that most men during that era wore nail polish with different colours, signifying different classes. Pardon me. Made primarily with coal, the darker the colour, the higher the class of the man, from warriors to leaders. Lighter colours were reserved for lower classes. lower class men. In fact, prior to battle, warriors would take hours to primp and paint their nails. Oh, darlings. In 3000 BC, it's said that in China, nail varnish, which was made from a mixture of egg whites, beeswax and gelatine, was reserved for people in the higher classes, regardless of gender. In Egypt, people of all classes were encouraged to paint their nails, again with colour denoting status. There's little historical documentation of how nail polish turned into specifically a feminine or women's expression as the years ticked on. What we do know is that by the 1800s in France, it was primarily women who would paint their nails to signify their own cleanliness. By the 1930s, companies like Revlon were marketing red and pink polishes directly to female customers. But while we may think that nail art is a modern concept, it was the Inca in the 1500s who first started to decorate their fingernails in such a fashion as having little pictures of eagles and other animals on their nails. The counterculture brought it back. If you flash forward to the rise of counterculture in the United States, and artists such as Iggy Pop, Kurt Cobain, Lou Reed and David Bowie, all of whom were notable proponents of painting varnish on their nails. All the men above were rock stars rebelling against the gender norms their elders obeyed. In Bowie's case, I pronounced it right, some critics just didn't know what to do with his androgynous look, since rockers of the past had been forced into being extremely hypermasculine sexual figures. The same happened with Reed, who, when he painted his nails with Bowie, was described as freaky. After Cobain painted his in the 90s, it was frequently called out in profiles by publications such as Spin and Esquire, which noted his red nail varnish is badly chipped, his dirty blonde hair is damp, and frames his unexpectedly beautiful face. The slow shift back to normality has been happening in the past few years, as evidenced not only by stars like Harry Styles, etc., but also the emergence of nail polish brands catering towards men. Take Man Glaze, for instance, which is not in fact glaze made from melted down to go on top of your cinnamon roll, but a purchasable line of nail polish for men that a purchasable line of nail polish for men that launched in 2007. A few years later, in 2013, a salon specifically for men opened in Los Angeles called Hammer and Nails the Salon, which specializes in nail care and manicures for men in an industrial setting, proving that painting and caring for your nails isn't just for male celebrities, but for any man out there. In an essay on media titled Why I Wear Nail Polish, author Jonathan Reed wrote he wears red nail polish not to start a revolution, but it's because it's a positive self-identifier. Quoting, "I paint it on when I feel sad or lost as a visual reminder of a time that I was happy and fulfilled." He also wrote, "It's a piece of self-identity and it gets me through hard days." They're not trying to signal a rebellion or make much of a statement. They're wearing it for a variety of personal reasons, mostly because they just like it. A lot of the stigma has to do with the idea that men aren't supposed to care too much about their appearances. Some have said they think it's definitely been taboo for guys because it's primping and polishing and a feminine thing that most macho guys won't do, he said. They say. It's so small and such an arbitrary thing, but for most guys, they can't even take the time to brush their hair. In his essay, Reed similarly felt people's issue with his nails had to do with gender expectations. Effeminate boys are viewed as having given up power because masculine concepts of physical and emotional toughness have largely remained unquestioned as a boyhood ideal, he wrote. That's definitely what Allure magazine found issue with in 2012 when it swiftly shot down the idea that men with nail polish weren't in any way appealing. It's all over the top for me, my taste, Renee Trevalias wrote. Women are attracted to guys who take care of themselves, but using a beauty product like this catapults a man into a high maintenance territory. If I have to wait for his polish to dry before we go to dinner, I'm out of there. However, no offence, Renee love, the same would apply in reverse. We have to wait for you, so maybe we should treat you with the same contempt. And you can get a cab. You can get yourself a cab when you're ready to join us for dinner. Plenty of famous men, as of late, have been seen wearing nail polish, including Johnny Depp, Taye Diggs, Seal, Jared Leto, Brad Pitt, Zac Efron, Eldon Henson of The Hunger Games, Darren Criss, Harry Styles, and many more. I do find it sad, pathetic, and ironic that if a male celebrity wears makeup and nail polish, it's seen as wow and cool. But if an ordinary member of the public like me does it, it's seen as girly, disgraceful, and so forth. It's really immature, and people need to get a life, because we should all be able to allow to dress and express ourselves the way we want. And to be fair, one could say, or some have said, tattoos are ugly or horrible, but then again, it's the same argument. And also, the plus side with nail polish and makeup, it's not permanent. It can be removed. And also, you have a huge palette of colours to choose from. And as I've highlighted, men and women have both been wearing it for years. Now, I haven't been able to cover all of history because you have, for example, the era when everyone had white faces and wigs, etc., back in the early 18th century. But I just wanted to stress that as history shows, it's perfectly okay and normal for men to wear both makeup and nail polish, and they've done it since the first civilizations. Anyway, I hope you found my video informative, helpful, and useful. If you like this video, hit the like, and if you're new to this channel, then please subscribe because it'd be great to have you here. Until next time, take care and be well.